So you started picking up after your pets and using your turn signals. Fantastic. Welcome back. Here are 3 more of my favorite NLP presuppositions, guidelines you can follow to be more effective in your relationships, more effective in life. They were initially designed by successful therapists who used them to create powerful changes in their clients. Even if you aren't doing therapy, they're extremely useful in day-to-day life. Number 1, respect the other person's model of the world. Number 2, you are in charge of your mind and therefore your results. And number 3, the person or element with the most flexibility in a group or system will have the most influence. Number 1, respect the other person's model of the world. You may ask what I mean by that, and that's a valid question. What I mean is that we view the world, our reality, from our memories, beliefs, values, decisions, attitudes, behaviors, thoughts, etc. These all create a subjective reality, a model of the world, our model of the world. We share parts of reality, but overall, we have different realities created by our upbringing, education, and experiences, which in turn create the memories, beliefs, values, decisions, attitudes, behaviors, and thoughts. I'm sure you'll agree that your reality is different than mine, and mine is different than Michael Jordan's and Thomas Edison's, who I talked about in the last video. Much more different than Edison's because he's, well, dead. Having respect for how someone views the world is not the same as agreeing with them. We can maintain our view and still have respect for theirs and not be judgmental. I know this is a time where that can be extremely difficult considering the divisiveness happening now. When we accept, again, not agree with, their view, we're able to create rapport with them. Rapport is necessary for effective communication, and effective communication is necessary for connection. Number 2, you are in charge of your mind and therefore your results. This is about responsibility, which some have defined as the ability to respond. When you have the ability to respond and just not react, you become the cause of events, not just at the effect of the world being a victim. This belief puts you in the power seat and you can become much more creative. You become open to your vast internal resources and able to find vast external resources. It's tied to the no failure, only feedback presupposition that I talked about in the last video. Knowing you are in charge sets the frame of mind that drives you to search for useful avenues. It erases the victim mentality some have. You become the creator of your life, the creator of your reality. Number 3, the person or element with the most flexibility in a group or system will have the most influence. In the last video, I discussed another one of my favorite presuppositions about knowing how you communicate gives you the flexibility to change what you communicate to get your point across clearly. Having flexibility gives you options and choices in behavior. It's like you have more tools in your toolbox of life. A hammer is useful when you're driving nails. Should it be the only tool you have, cutting lumber or wiring your home for electricity will be much more difficult, if not downright impossible. So having a variety of ways of responding gives you a competitive edge, and you're more than likely to get the outcome you desire. Here's one more presupposition that gives you a competitive edge. Resistance is a sign of a lack of rapport. This one is also connected to knowing how you communicate, not what you communicate. Knowing how you communicate and what the other person's model of the world is helps you create rapport with them. Rapport is necessary to communicate effectively. With strong rapport, you will have a stronger connection with them. They will not only be more able to hear you, you'll be more able to hear them as well. Blaming others for being resistant, for not understanding, or for not grasping what you've said is actually a statement that you haven't created a strong enough connection with them and have not communicated clearly. Be accountable. Be responsible. Be able to respond differently. Use your flexibility. Always create strong rapport when you begin to communicate. Think how much more powerful you become when you know how you communicate, create rapport, have the skills, and be willing to be flexible, knowing that it's your message you're trying to get across, and be aware of how the other person views their world. It makes a dramatic change in your communication and your relationships. So take responsibility and create better relationships. Now keep picking up after your pets and remember those turn signals. And a genuine smile that includes your eyes is a great way to begin creating rapport, especially when you're wearing a mask. Thanks for watching. See you soon.